Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. How's it going? Apparently today is Mass Effect Day. But yeah, how's it going? Ron Allen, Fordster, Arojas, and everybody else hanging out in chat. Arojas, thank you very much for the T124. Yes, thank you very, very much. So, as I'm sure probably all of you have already heard, we have all kinds of Mass Effect Legendary Edition news today. So we're going to go over all of that. We're going to watch the trailer, and I'll just try to give you my general thoughts and feelings, I suppose. But yeah, for those who don't know, Mass Effect is my favorite series of all time. It's one of the best RPGs ever made. Along with something like Star Wars, Star Trek, it has just an incredible sci-fi scope and scale. And just the characters, the story, the action in that series is absolutely fantastic. And so, if you've never played it, when this version comes out in May, I highly, highly recommend it. But yeah, I think we'll start out. I'll go ahead and I'll cue the music here real quick, and then we'll check out the trailer, and then we'll kind of go from there. Don't know if there's people who haven't seen this yet today. All right, let's flip screens here real quick. There's Omega. Oh, hold on a second. This is in 4K. Are we running this in 4K? Nope. We are now. Looks really good. Thanks. All right, there you go, chat. So yeah, the big thing sort of going into today was we didn't really know, was this going to be a remake? Was it a remaster? Is it some sort of hybrid? And I would say that now, based on the info that we have, we can officially call this a remaster. And so let me actually pull up the website as we're sort of talking about this. The other thing that I had mentioned is I think I mentioned this either yesterday or Sunday, that I had heard that a bunch of content creators and members of the media had gotten a look at this, and so we now know the details on that as well. So it turns out that BioWare did essentially a behind closed doors preview of this thing, and they invited a bunch of, like I said, media and whatnot to it. And so a lot of them got to see it actually running and have been answering Q&A and stuff all day. And so I've been kind of going over that, just sort of seeing what they've been saying. But we'll start out with this. So this is the new website that they launched today. And the big thing about this is just visually the entire thing is getting an upgrade. You know, it's going to run in 4K 60 FPS now. And they've put out some of these little... And I love it when games do this. So the left is original and the right is the Legendary Edition. And you can see right there, that's a pretty big difference visually, right? And you can also see that they've completely redone the UI for the game as well. Now, the funny thing about this is here on this one, it's Commander Shepard with no helmet, and this is Commander Shepard with a helmet. You can toggle that on or off. I don't know why they didn't just go ahead and toggle it off and, well, either off or on in both to make it a bit more consistent in what you were looking at. But yeah, I mean, that looks pretty nice for how old is the game? 13 years or something like that? I mean, the sky looks really nice in particular. But you can see it's like they didn't just add texturing. It's like they added a lot of just new stuff. I mean, in this shot right here, it's like you can see the difference. And just what they had added. So that's pretty cool. There is a collector's edition, which I have pre-ordered. Hopefully I'll buy that. I want that helmet. That helmet's 1-to-1. I'll wear that on stream if I can. I thought there was another side-by-side. Might be on a different website. But yeah, they've been showing off these different screenshots. Oh, here it is. Okay, here it is. So yeah, this was the first one that I saw early this morning. So it's like, there's the original, and there's the remake. So that's pretty good. I also thought it was funny, again, if you look at the original UI, which I'm covering up, I'll move the camera here for a second. Whenever you were in the Mako, you could actually see the health of your crewmates and stuff. And then the Mako had a shield, and then you would hit Y for repair, right? But in the new one, I guess it just has I'm assuming that the blue will turn red, and then there's like little dots, and I'm guessing that's probably the hull integrity. Also, where's I guess there's the missile indicator, or maybe the dots are the missiles. Maybe that's what that is. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Move my camera back over. Actually, this one I haven't even seen yet. So this is the Citadel fight. I mean, you can definitely see the difference in like the textures and stuff going back between the two shots. Yeah, this in particular looks really outdated when you look at this one compared to this one. That's pretty cool though. All right, what's image 2? Oh, this is the Thane image. So this is showing the upgraded models. Yeah, much better. You even look at if you look at his outfit. Not necessarily his face, but just his outfit. And you can see how much better the outfit looks. Especially that neckline with like the hexagon pattern or whatever. And you can kind of see the pattern on his chest as well. I've seen some people on the internet talking about, why did they have a lens flare in this shot? It's kind of like throwing off, you know, looking at the model. But yeah, it's pretty good, chat. Is my music too loud? No, it's good. I'm going to go ahead and flip back here for just a second. So just to kind of read through some of the stuff that they're doing. And here's kind of the big thing. So, of course, it's all 3 games. And it includes 40 DLCs from all 3 games. Now, apparently, there is one DLC from Mass Effect 1 that they were not able to put in. And apparently, a company outside of BioWare actually helped with that DLC. And when BioWare requested the files they got were corrupted. And apparently, the backup files were also corrupted. So it is literally a DLC that has been lost to time. They said in one of the interviews that I saw today that if they were to go ahead and just build it from the ground up, it would take them 6 months. And they also felt like that particular DLC was very much a side thing that wasn't necessary, so they decided not to do it. But that's crazy. Even like in this day and age, games can be lost. But yeah, it's like, what are the odds of that? That the main and the backup would be so badly corrupted that they would have to start over from scratch. That's crazy. So I'm just trying to scroll through this article here real quick. Actually, let me do this here real fast. I think I have a better link. Do. Where was that at? Here it is. So I'll just pop this up on screen here real fast. Also, this is on my Discord for anybody who wants to read through the whole thing. But this is kind of just a quick little take on what they're doing at a surface level. And then another thing that was talked about today is there are some things that are not even done yet. So apparently in Mass Effect 1, they're looking at completely redoing the inventory system, but they're not even really talking about it or even showing it because it's not done yet. So a few other key points to look at here. One would be New Shepard customization from the ability to play the iconic FemShep from Mass Effect 3. So kind of stopping there for a second. When they made Mass Effect 1 originally, they only had sort of the box model for the male, and they didn't have one for the female until later on. And so now they've gone back, and the standard version of FemShep with the red hair is now correct through all 3. So if you choose to play as that character and not customized, that's also an option. So that's pretty cool. Gameplay enhancements for the first Mass Effect. Enjoy improved aiming and weapon balance. Better Mako controls, input controls, squad behavior, cover behavior, and gameplay cameras. So that right there, that bullet point was a lot of the major issues with Mass Effect 1. Gameplay-wise, of the 3, Mass Effect 1 is by far the worst. The guns, terrible. Like, they're real bad. So the fact that they're improving the aiming, they're actually balancing the weapons, and I don't know if it says it in here or not as we're going through it, but in some of the other interview stuff that I saw today, they talked about just overall the guns being better and that the weapons won't be class restricted anymore. Although if you want to like level them up using the little dot system, if anybody is familiar with that, that'll still be there, but not necessarily for every weapon based on the class that you choose. So that's pretty interesting. But yeah, improved controls. The cameras were an issue. Better squad behavior. So the squad behavior is going to be closer to Mass Effect 3. So that'll be good. Improved performance, experience, incredible performance upgrade, 60 FPS, blah, 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 right? So visual improvements on all 3 games. Updates include enhanced models, shaders, FX lighting, depth of field, and that sort of thing. One interesting point that I saw in one of the interviews is somebody was asking, are they going to have ray tracing? And the answer to that is no. They are going to have real-time reflections, but not ray tracing, because these games were built on an older version of the Unreal Engine, which didn't support ray tracing. When they first started this project, they considered upgrading all 3 games to the new version, or not the new version because the brand new version is coming out later this year, but I think it's 5. I think it's 5 that's coming out later this year. But anyway, upgrading all of them to Unreal 4, and they basically said, no, we don't have the time, money, or resources to do that, because at that point, you're just making new games. Or like a full remake. Kind of like what we've seen with like Final Fantasy or Resident Evil or some of those. Some of the other stuff, let's see here. Yeah, here it's talking a little bit about just some of the DLCs that are included. Let me flip screens here for just a second. There were definitely some other articles out there that went into... Oh, so like here's one as an example. This says, a list of the Mass Effect 1 improvements mention enemy and squad AI changes, which I talked about. The removal of class-based weapon restrictions. An XP rebalance, so you can hit the game cap without New Game Plus. More consistent autosaves, boss encounter improvements, reduced cooldown for aid, reduction of mini games, and a modern HUD. And of course, the big one, and I don't know if I can find the times in this article. Oh, yeah, here we go. So for anybody who played Mass Effect 1, you know that you spent a lot of times in the elevators. And that was almost a meme point for Mass Effect 1. And so they have fixed that. And it says here that the Citadel ones in particular have been cut down to 14 seconds, down from 52. So almost a minute. But I don't know. They had like news stuff in those elevators. You could just sit in there and just like listening to the news. So I wonder how they're going to handle that. So that'll be really interesting. Also, how's it going, R2? Yeah, I'm just kind of scrolling through some of this other stuff real fast to see if there's any talking points. Let me actually grab this here real fast. So it was actually, I just saw this in an article. It was the Pinnacle Station DLC. That's the name of the DLC that has been lost. So that is the only DLC that's not being included. Weren't there conversations in the elevators too? I think so, yeah. I'm definitely hoping that they do some kind of trailer showing more of this side-by-side stuff. Although, knowing EA, they probably won't. But who knows? But yeah, I'm just really happy that this is coming out on May 14th. I think a lot of people wanted it sooner. I will probably be streaming all 3 games. Because I know there's some of you who have never seen these games, and I would love to do a presentation on them. Be really good for YouTube as well. Let me go back to this slider here real fast. It's always fun just to keep doing this. Ooh. Ooh. Hey, Padinsky, how's it going? I need to talk to some really smart web person. How do they even do this? It's too good. I can see it on maybe doing an image is probably easier. I forget, Padinsky, have you played these Mass Effect games? Funny enough, I think EA actually had a financial call today, and that's why there was so much EA news. There was actually 2 other stories, and they pretty much got buried by this Mass Effect news. And that is Apex is coming to the Switch. And then probably the even bigger one is the fact that they are finally doing another college football game. And I know people have been waiting a long time for that. Shoot, I'll probably buy it. Just so I can play Iowa. But hopefully it's good and it's not full of, you know, nonsense. But yeah, we'll have to see, I guess. There were a couple of things for Mass Effect Legendary Edition that people are not happy about. One being everybody really wanted them to put in the Mass Effect 3 multiplayer. And they basically said that they didn't have the time, money, and resources to do it. And sort of part 2 on that, they have Andromeda multiplayer, and I think they want everybody playing that. But I think people like 3 better. And that's probably why they want it. Yeah, anybody else in chat definitely getting this when it comes out? Also, I'm going to show you guys one more thing, and hopefully it doesn't make you cry. Honestly, I watched this, and I almost started crying. So hopefully... So this is from Jennifer Hale. And if you don't know, she is the voice of female Commander Shepard. For you SWTOR peeps, she is the female trooper. She is Bastila. She is Satele, among many others. So she's a big part of BioWare. She's a big part of Mass Effect. And she released this.
Oh my goodness. I'm just sitting here ugly crying because I'm just so moved. I've been watching this trailer for the Legendary Edition of Mass Effect over and over, and FemShep's on it. And it's amazing. And listen, huge shout out to Mark. You know I love you. Just, this is beautiful, and I'm so grateful. You guys are the best, and to be a part of this is the greatest thing in the world, and I'm so grateful. BioWare, thank you, fans. Thank you so much. It's just so beautiful. It's very moving. I just wanted to share that I'm ugly crying because it's so cool. Have a good one. Oh, my goodness.
So, there you go. She's great. She really is. Dirty Sock Music, how's it going? Already pre-ordered? I never beat Andromeda. I wasn't happy with it. These, Mass Effect 1, 2, and 3, I hold those games in such high regards, and then Andromeda just didn't cut it for me. Guess the last thing I'll show you guys here real quick is this collector's edition that they released today. Actually, I didn't, let's see, where's that at? Let me actually go to the BioWare store here just real fast. But no, I've mentioned before that usually I don't have very good luck getting collector's editions because they sell out so fast. But I think I've got this one secured. This one looks pretty cool to me. I like that helmet. That helmet is pretty awesome. It's a 1-to-1 scale. R2, you're saying, so not all DLCs? All of them except for one. I think you may have just came in when I was talking about that. There's one that is essentially lost to time because the code on it is so corrupted, they'd have to build it from scratch. And they said today it would take them 6 months. So yeah, that's a pretty cool little collector's edition. So I will try and get that. But yeah, I think without further ado, we'll jump back into some Hades.